All right, you don't want our oil? We'll just sell it to the Chinese. Remember Canada's Prime Minister telling the U.S. just that right after the White House blocked the Keystone oil pipeline? Well, guess who's in China today? Canada's Prime Minister, Stephen Harper. Republican Senator John Barrasso pushing a bill to approve the pipeline without the president so the Chinese don't get this oil and we do. Senator, where do you stand on this?
Well, I think that the president has made a terrible mistake, and he's tried to put his own political fortunes ahead of the importance of energy security and job security of the American people. I think it's a terrible mistake for our country. So you have the Prime Minister of Canada in China saying America doesn't seem to want our oil, we'll sell it to China. Those are good jobs here on the ground, almost 20,000 jobs here at home, direct jobs in constructing the pipeline. It's energy security for our nation, and instead we're going to send more money to Saudi Arabia and to Venezuela, and I lay it right at the feet of the president who is blocking this Keystone pipeline.
All right, well, obviously you're trying to override him, which is the equivalent of trying to override a veto. Easier said than done. Do you have the votes?
Well, the House today in their Energy Committee has passed a bill. We have a huge number of co-sponsors in the Senate, but the president seems to be dug in on this, and we're going to continue to remind the American people that in terms of energy security, in terms of national security, we ought to be trading with our closest neighbor and partner, Canada. And Canada is now, by going to China today, saying we can't trust America as a business partner. I want to make it cheaper and easier for the private sector in America to create jobs. And it's just not working that way with this president. He is saying no to American jobs. And the people of this country realize what a terrible mistake and a decision it is that the president is doing. But he's using it to raise money on his website, this at a time when just the other day, Neil, USA Today has said we're looking at $4 a gallon gasoline by Memorial Day.
But you've been critical of other measures you say are part and parcel of the same sort of I guess, fossil fuel position. You were opposed to the way the administration reduced the average available oil shale development in Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, et cetera, that there's a pattern here. What are you saying?
Well, Neil, I sat in the State of the Union and saw the president read from the teleprompter when he said I supported all of the above approach. But in fact, he does not. This administration has blocked efforts to explore for energy offshore, on federal land, and in Alaska. We need all of these sources of energy, and this administration has made it harder for us to develop and to explore American sources of energy. And we do need it all. But this administration, through its rules and regulations and red tape, make it harder to get that energy out of the ground and into the homes across the country. The president, when he was running for office, said under his plan, electricity rates would necessarily skyrocket. And Neil, they have.
We'll watch. Senator, thank you. Good seeing you again.
Thanks, Neil.